Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appeals to document lives, struggles and achievements of overseas Indians in various countries. Government cautions TV channels not to broadcast disturbing images of deaths and accidents. In Uttarakhand, relief and rescue operations intensified in Joshimath following land subsidence incidents. New Delhi expresses concern over rioting and vandalism against state institutions in Brazil. And in cricket, first ODI between India and Sri Lanka to be played in Guwahati tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appealed to document lives, struggles and achievements of overseas Indians in various countries. He was speaking after the inauguration of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas in Indore today. Mr. Modi called upon the Indian diaspora to strengthen India's unique global vision and its important role in the global order. Mr. Modi said today the world is looking towards India with hope and faith, and the diaspora can play an important role as brand ambassadors of the country.
Your role as India's brand ambassador is diverse. You are brand ambassadors of Make in India, yoga and Ayurveda, cottage industries and handicraft. You are also brand ambassadors of India's millets. The 2023 has been declared by the United Nations as the International Year of Millets.
Talking about India's growth in various sectors, Mr. Modi said it has the potential to become a skills capital with knowledge centers in the world. He said today India is among the top economies of the world. It has the largest startup ecosystem and is the father of state-of-the-art technology like Tejas and Arihant. He said the world wants to know our speed and skills along with our future. The Prime Minister urged the Indian diaspora to keep abreast of India's progress along with cultural and spiritual information so that they can tell the world about India. He said the diaspora have an important place in India's journey during the Amrit Kaal.
The nation has entered the Amrit Kaal of the next 25 years. Our Pravasi Bharatiya have significant place in this journey. India's unique global vision and its important role in the global order will be strengthened by you people.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi met the President of Suriname, Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, on the sidelines of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention in Indore today. Both leaders held discussions on cooperation in areas of mutual interest, including hydrocarbons, defense, maritime security, digital initiatives, and ICT, and capacity building. Mr. Santokhi appreciated the restructuring by India of Suriname's debt arising from lines of credit availed. President Draupadi Murmu will grace the valedictory session of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention and confer Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Awards at Indore tomorrow. She will confer Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Awards upon 27 overseas Indians. The award is conferred as part of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention on non-resident Indians, persons of Indian origin, or an organization established and run by non-resident Indians in recognition of their outstanding achievements both in India and abroad. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has said India's defence exports have grown by 8 times in the last 5 years. He was speaking at the Ambassadors' Conference in New Delhi today.
We have created a robust defense manufacturing ecosystem in India which has the advantage of abundant technical manpower. It has led to the emergence of India as a leading defense exporter in recent years. Our defense exports have grown by 8 times in the last 5 years, and now India is exporting to more than 75 countries.
On the 14th edition of Aero India 2023 being held from the 13th to the 17th of February in Bengaluru, Mr. Singh said it will provide an opportunity for exchange of information, ideas and new technological developments in the aviation industry. The government has cautioned television channels against broadcasting disturbing footage and distressing images. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry today issued an advisory to all TV channels against reporting incidents of accidents, deaths and violence, including violence against women, children and the elderly, in a manner that grossly compromises good taste and decency. The advisory comes after the ministry noticed several instances of lack of discretion by channels. The ministry said channels have shown dead bodies of individuals, images and videos of injured persons with blood splattered around without taking the precaution of blurring the images. It stated that such reports might have an adverse psychological impact on children. Television sets will soon have inbuilt tuners to ensure viewers get all free-to-air DD channels without the need for a set-top box. Doordarshan is in the process of phasing out analog transmission, as the Bureau of Indian Standards (BIS) has published the Indian Standard Specification for digital television receivers with built-in satellite tuners. At present, TV viewers in the country need to purchase a set-top box even for the reception of free-to-air channels transmitted by Doordarshan. The initiative is expected to facilitate transmission of knowledge about government initiatives, schemes, educational content and other programs to reach and benefit a wide segment of the country's population. The Union Home Ministry has declared Khalistan Tiger Force associate Arshdeep Singh Gill alias Arsh-Lala a terrorist under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act UAPA. In a notification, the ministry said he is involved in terror financing and cross-border smuggling of drugs or weapons in large scale. He is also involved in heinous crimes such as murder, extortion and targeted killings, besides terror activities. The ministry said Arshdeep Singh is very close to Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a designated terrorist under the UAPA. The Delhi government has imposed a ban on plying of BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel four-wheelers from tomorrow in view of worsening air quality. The restrictions will be in place till the 12th of January. In its order, the Delhi Transport Department said the owners of vehicles found plying in violation of the rule will be prosecuted under the Motor Vehicles Act, which provides a fine of 20,000 rupees. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. In Uttarakhand, relief and rescue operations have been intensified in Joshimath town following incidents of land subsidence. Chief Secretary Dr. S.S. Sandhu held a meeting on the situation with senior government officials in Dehradun today. He directed them to ensure drinking water and other facilities in relief camps, repair broken water pipelines, sewers and power lines in the affected areas. Dr. Sandhu also directed that people living in the affected area should be shifted to safer places soon. He said dilapidated buildings should be demolished soon to prevent land subsidence. Cabinet Minister Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat also inspected the disaster-affected areas in Joshimath and met the affected people. He said in this hour of crisis, the government is fully standing with the residents of this city.
इस आपदा की घड़ी में हम जोशीमठ वासियों के साथ खड़े हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी खुद इसकी निगरानी कर रहे हैं। मुख्यमंत्री जी यहाँ का दौरा करके चले गए हैं। 650 परिवारों का पुनर्वास करने की बात हो रही है। आज लगभग 67 परिवारों को देखने में खुद गया हूँ। मैं कह सकता हूँ कि राज्य सरकार जो भी संभव होगा वो पूरा काम करेगी। यहाँ के लिए भारत सरकार की भी टीम आगे आज पूरा सर्वे होगा। सर्वे के बाद जो भी रिपोर्ट आएगी उसके अनुसार काम करेंगे।
Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan today reviewed the preparations for Pariksha Pe Charcha 2023 in New Delhi. The program is scheduled to be held on the 27th of this month at Talkatora Indoor Stadium in Delhi. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Pradhan called for expanding engagement with students, parents and teachers on the upcoming Pariksha Pe Charcha, in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inspire students to beat exam stress and excel. The Union Health Ministry said the sentinel sequencing of 324 COVID-positive samples has revealed the presence of all Omicron variants in the community. Sentinel sequencing is an ongoing surveillance activity across the country. The ministry said Integrated Disease Surveillance Program Sentinel sites referred these COVID-19 positive samples for sequencing to 22 Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium labs from the 29th of December last year to the 7th of this month. It said no mortality or rise in transmission was reported in the areas where these variants were detected. The ministry has initiated random testing of international travellers arriving at various airports from the 24th of last month. Noted academic, poet and Kashmir's first Gyanpith awardee, Professor Rahman Rahi, passed away at his residence in Srinagar this morning after a brief illness. He was 98. Professor Rahi was an acclaimed poet who also translated the works of many renowned poets and writers into the Kashmiri language. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed concern about rioting and vandalism against the state institutions in Brasilia. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that democratic traditions must be respected by everyone. He added that India extends its full support to the Brazilian authorities. Meanwhile, Brazilian authorities have launched an investigation after thousands of supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro stormed the country's highest seats of power. The protesters, who were demanding that newly elected President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva be ousted, barged into the presidential palace, Supreme Court and Congress yesterday. The protesters smashed windows, overturned furniture, destroyed artworks and stole the country's original 1988 constitution. Guns were also seized from a presidential security office. Following the unprecedented protest, Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes ordered the governor of Brasilia to be removed from office for 90 days over alleged security failings. In a press conference, President Lula vowed to bring those responsible for the riot to justice and launched a blistering attack on Bolsonaro. Lula instructed the federal security intervention in Brasilia, lasting until the 31st of this month after capital security forces were outnumbered by the invaders. Military helicopters airlifted hundreds of people from communities cut off by once-in-a-century floods in Australia's northwest. An official leading relief effort said water covered some places as far as the eye could see. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese described the flooding as devastating and pledged federal assistance. The Sensex and the Nifty today logged gains of around 1.4% amid positive global cues. The rupee also appreciated 36 paise against the US dollar. A report from the business desk.
The Sensex rose 847 points or 1.41% to settle at 60,747. The Nifty also climbed 242 points or 1.35% to finish at 18,101. At the forex market, the rupee appreciated 36 paise to close at 82 rupees and 36 paise against the US dollar. At the multi-commodity exchange, gold futures for February was trading at 56,000 rupees per 10 grams. Silver futures for March was trading at 69,250 rupees per kilogram when reports last came in. And oil prices climbed more than 3% as China's move to reopen its border boosted the demand. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at $81.35 per barrel. V. Ravi Kumar for AIR News.
In cricket, the three-match ODI series between India and Sri Lanka will begin tomorrow. The first match will be played in Guwahati from 1:30 p.m. Skipper Rohit Sharma, who missed India's last two bilateral series, will return to lead the team. Jasprit Bumrah has also been included in the ODI squad. Bumrah was out of cricketing action since September 2022 due to a back injury. India last played an ODI series against Sri Lanka in July 2021. India is all set to host the 15th edition of the FIH Men's Hockey World Cup from the 13th of January. The tournament will be hosted by Odisha. The matches will take place at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar and Birsa Munda Hockey Stadium in Rourkela. The Men's FIH Hockey World Cup 2023 will see Belgium defend their crown, while Australia are considered the favourites for the crown. Hosts India, who last won the trophy in 1975, are also among the favourites. The University Grants Commission has recently announced draft regulations for foreign universities in India. In our bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak at 9:30 p.m. tonight, we will bring you a live discussion on the topic with UGC Chairman Professor M. Jagdish Kumar. Listeners can ask questions related to the regulations from 9:30 p.m. onwards tonight on telephone numbers 011 2371 7106 and 011 233 14444. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appeals to document lives, struggles and achievements of overseas Indians in various countries. Government cautions TV channels not to broadcast disturbing images of deaths and accidents. In Uttarakhand, relief and rescue operations intensified in Joshimath following land subsidence incidents. New Delhi expresses concern over rioting and vandalism against state institutions in Brazil. And in cricket, first ODI between India and Sri Lanka to be played in Guwahati tomorrow. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.